Welcome to today's coin journey. Money bag. In this video, we will explore 4 important U.S. quarters from 1965, 1966, 1967, and 1968, an interesting period of change in American coin history. Each coin has its own unique story, from silver removal to the new clad design and the return of mint marks in 1968. Stay till the end. You might discover a rare treasure. Money bag. The 1965 United States quarter dollar holds a very important place in American coin history, as it marks a major transition in how U.S. coins were made. This coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse front, a design that had already been in use since 1932 to honor his 200th birthday. Surrounding his profile are the inscriptions "Liberty" at the top, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the year 1965 at the bottom. The reverse back of the coin displays a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. Above the eagle appears the Latin motto "E Pluribus Unum," meaning out of many, one, while United States of America and quarter dollar are inscribed around the design. What makes the 1965 quarter especially significant is its composition. Prior to 1965, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage in the early 1960s, the U.S. government decided to remove silver from circulating coins. As a result, the 1965 quarter became the first year of the new copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of copper-nickel alloy. This change was authorized under the Coinage Act of 1965, a landmark decision that permanently altered U.S. coinage. Because of this transition, the 1965 quarter does not contain any silver, making it less valuable in terms of metal content compared to earlier quarters. Another interesting aspect of the 1965 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965 to 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from U.S. coins in an effort to discourage coin hoarding and speculation. This means that all 1965 quarters look the same regardless of whether they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. The total mintage of the 1965 quarter exceeded 1.8 billion coins, making it one of the most widely produced quarters in U.S. history. This high mintage generally keeps a coin's value low in circulated condition, typically around its face value of 25 cents. Despite its common nature, certain 1965 quarters can be quite valuable, especially if they are in uncirculated condition or have rare minting errors. Collectors often look for coins with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear. Additionally, some rare error coins, such as those mistakenly struck on leftover silver planche from 1964, have been discovered. These rare silver 1965 quarters can be worth thousands of dollars, making them highly desirable among numismatists. Other errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, can also increase the coin's value significantly. In terms of design artistry, the quarter was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose depiction of George Washington remains one of the most recognized coin portraits in the world. The simplicity and elegance of the design have allowed it to endure for decades, even as a reverse design was later replaced in 1999 with the state quarters program. The 1965 quarter, therefore, represents not only a piece of everyday currency but also a turning point in U.S. monetary policy and coin production techniques. Overall, the 1965 United States quarter dollar is a historically significant coin that reflects a time of economic change and innovation. While it may not be rare in general circulation, its story, composition change, and potential for rare errors make it an important piece for collectors and historians alike. Anyone interested in coin collecting should carefully examine their 1,965 quarters, as even a common-looking coin could turn out to be a valuable and fascinating piece of American history. The 1967 United States quarter dollar represents the final year of a very unique and transitional period in American coinage history. This coin continues the same classic design that had been used for decades, featuring the left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse. His calm and authoritative profile reflects dignity and leadership, making it one of the most recognizable images in U.S. currency. Above his head is the word "Liberty," while the national motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed to the left. The year 1967 appears at the bottom, marking this coin as part of a crucial era when the United States was adjusting its monetary system due to economic pressures. The reverse side of the 1967 quarter continues the iconic heraldic eagle design created by John Flanagan. The eagle is shown with wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other, symbolizing the nation's readiness for both war and peace. Above the eagle is a Latin motto, E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many, one, which emphasizes unity among the states. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar. This reverse design remained in use until it was replaced decades later, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Like the 1965 and 1966 quarters, the 1967 quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition. This means the coin consists of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. This change was implemented under the Coinage Act of 1965, which aimed to eliminate silver from circulating coins due to rising silver prices and hoarding. As a result, the 1967 quarter contains no silver, unlike quarters minted before 1965. The removal of silver marked a major shift in U.S. coinage, making coins more cost-effective to produce while ensuring their continued availability in everyday transactions. One of the most distinctive features of the 1967 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965 through 1967, the United States Mint removed mint marks from all coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. Therefore, all 1967 quarters appear identical regardless of whether they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. This makes the 1967 coin the last in a 3-year series without mint marks, adding a unique historical characteristic that distinguishes it from other years. The mintage of the 1967 quarter was extremely high, with over 1.5 billion coins produced. Because of this large production number, the coin is very common in circulated condition, and is typically worth only its face value of 25 cents. However, collectors still value high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with strong mint luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections. Coins that are well-preserved and graded at higher mint state levels can fetch higher prices in the collector market. In addition to condition, collectors are always on the lookout for rare minting errors in 1967 quarters. Some of the most valuable examples include double die errors, off-center strikes, clip planches, and coins struck on incorrect metal compositions. Although rare, these error coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their uniqueness and condition. There have also been occasional reports of transitional errors, such as coins struck on leftover silver planches, though these are extremely rare and highly sought after. The artistic and historical importance of the 1967 quarter cannot be overlooked. The enduring design by John Flanagan continued to symbolize American heritage and stability during a time of economic adjustment. The late 1960s were a period of significant social and financial change in the United States, and the coinage of that era reflect how the government adapted to maintain a stable currency system. The 1967 quarter, therefore, stands not only as a piece of everyday currency but also as a representation of resilience and adaptation. In conclusion, the 1967 United States quarter dollar is a historically significant coin that marks the end of a transitional phase in U.S. minting practices. While it is common in circulation and generally not highly valuable on its own, its importance lies in its context, composition, and the broader story it tells about American economic history. For collectors and enthusiasts, examining a 1967 quarter can be both educational and rewarding, as even an ordinary-looking coin may hold hidden value or historical significance. The 1968 United States quarter dollar is an important coin in modern American numismatics because it marks the return of mint marks after a 3-year absence. This coin continues to feature the classic obverse design of George Washington, whose portrait has been a symbol of leadership and unity on the quarter since 1932. On the obverse, the inscriptions Liberty appear at the top. In God We Trust is placed to the left of Washington's profile, and the date 1968 is shown at the bottom. This familiar design reflects continuity in U.S. coinage during a period of economic stability after major changes in the mid-1960s. The reverse of the 1968 quarter continues the iconic eagle design created by John Flanagan. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength and readiness, while holding arrows in one claw and an olive branch in the other to represent the balance between war and peace. Above the eagle is a Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which highlights the unity of the United States. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar, maintaining the traditional and highly recognizable style used on U.S. quarters for many decades. One of the most significant features of the 1968 quarter is its return of the mint mark. After being removed in 1965, 1966, and 1967 to discourage hoarding, mint marks were reintroduced in 1968. This means collectors can now identify where the coin was produced. The mint mark appears on the obverse side, just behind Washington's ponytail. Coins struck at the Denver Mint carry a D, while those from the San Francisco Mint often include proof versions marked with an S. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This change restored important numismatic information that helps collectors identify and study coin production. The 1968 quarter is made of copper-nickel clad material, a composition introduced in 1965 to replace the earlier 90% silver coins. It consists of a pure copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper and nickel. This change was part of a major monetary reform designed to eliminate the rising cost of silver and ensure enough coins were available for circulation. As a result, the 1968 quarter contains no silver, which means its value is not based on precious metal content, but rather on condition, rarity, and collector demand. In terms of production, the 1968 quarter had a very large mintage, exceeding 1 billion coins across all mint facilities. Because of this high production number, most circulated examples are common and usually worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with strong luster and sharp details, can carry high premiums. Proof coins minted in San Francisco are particularly appealing to collectors due to their mirror-like surfaces and higher strike quality, making them more desirable than standard circulation strikes. Collectors also pay attention to error varieties in the 1968 quarter series. Some of the most sought-after errors include double die obverses, off-center strikes, clip planches, and misaligned dies. These errors occur during the minting process and can significantly increase a coin's value depending on rarity and condition. In some cases, even small minting anomalies can transform a common quarter into a highly valuable collectible worth far more than its face value. Overall, the 1968 United States quarter dollar represents a continuation of modern U.S. coinage following a period of major transition. It reflects both technological change in minting practices and the restoration of traditional features like mint marks. With its enduring design by John Flanagan and its historical significance in the evolution of American currency, the 1968 quarter remains an important and interesting coin for collectors, historians, and anyone interested in U.S. monetary history. The 1966 United States quarter dollar is another coin in American numismatic history, continuing that began just 1 year earlier in 1965. This coin features a well-known portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, facing left with a calm and dignified expression. Above his head is the word liberty, while the national motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left of his profile. The date 1966 is clearly struck at the bottom. The design reflects a sense of national pride and continuity, as Washington's image has been a symbol of leadership and unity in the United States for decades. On the reverse side, the coin displays a powerful eagle with its wings fully spread, clutching arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. This imagery represents the balance between military strength and peace. Above the eagle is a Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, which emphasizes the unity of the states. Around the edges, the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar complete the design. This classic reverse design, created by John Flanagan, remained in use for many decades and is considered one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. Just like the 1965 quarter, the 1966 quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver. It consists of an inner core of pure copper bonded between outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This change was part of the Coinage Act of 1965, which aimed to address the severe coin shortage and rising silver prices at the time. As a result, the 1966 quarter does not contain any silver, making it less intrinsically valuable than pre-1965 quarters. However, this transition marks an important economic shift, as it reflects how the U.S. government adapted to changing market conditions and preserved the circulation of everyday coinage. One of the most notable features of the 1966 quarter is the absence of a mint mark. During the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them. Therefore, all 1966 quarters appear identical regardless of whether they were minted at the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. This policy makes it impossible to distinguish the exact origin of individual coins from this period, adding a unique aspect to their history. The mintage of the 1966 quarter was extremely high, with over 821 million coins produced. Because of this large quantity, the coin is very common in circulated condition and usually holds only its face value of 25 cents. However, collectors still seek out high-grade uncirculated examples, which can carry a premium due to their pristine condition and strong mint luster. Coins that have been well preserved, with sharp details and minimal contact marks, are particularly desirable in the numismatic market. In addition to condition, collectors also look for rare minting errors that can significantly increase the value of a 1966 quarter. Some known errors include double die varieties, off-center strikes, and coins struck on incorrect planches. These errors are relatively rare but can make a seemingly ordinary coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Occasionally, transitional errors involving leftover silver planches from earlier years have also been reported, making them especially valuable and exciting finds for collectors. The artistic design of the 1966 quarter continues the legacy established in 1932, with John Flanagan's depiction of George Washington remaining central to the coin's identity. The design's simplicity, balance, and symbolism have allowed it to endure through generations, even as later changes introduced new reverse designs in the late 20th century. The 1966 quarter thus stands as a continuation of tradition during a time of significant change in U.S. coinage. In conclusion, the 1966 United States quarter dollar is not just an ordinary coin but a reflection of a transitional period in American history. While it may not be rare in general circulation, its historical significance, composition change, and potential for valuable errors make it an important piece for collectors. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced numismatist, examining a 1966 quarter closely could reveal more than just spare change. It could uncover a small but meaningful piece of American heritage.